This is just extraordinary. This is like some apocalyptic, futuristic sci-fi movie right here. This really has not disappointed. So now I find myself halfway between Mansfield and Sutton in Ashfield, Cauldwell Road, basically an extension of the B6022, which hits a crossroads up there. It comes down here, you can just see some properties around about there. There's a few vehicles there, then that is pretty much it. The road is abandoned, pretty much, but not quite. Occasionally traffic still uses this. There is a fishing pond just around the bend, about a quarter of a mile away. Council use it, and it's also a hot spot for learner drivers to come along and practice the skills and even do hill starts, which I'll show you as we get there. So over there, look, we've got the A617. Now that runs right along where that pretty new Amazon warehouse is. I think it's been there about 3 years. It lay derelict for about 20 years, that land over there. They put junctions and traffic lights in, but nothing ever came of it for a long time, and then that popped up a few years ago. So the main reason for this road being abandoned or in a very little used state is basically for this, the A617. And the road used to cross pretty much where, if you see the lorry and the third car back, in a diagonal angle across that road. And the location where the new A617 severed Cauldwell Road is just here. Our starting point is around about half a mile further along, all the way over here towards Sutton in Ashfield. And we'll be walking along the road. It's occasionally used sparingly by the odd vehicle and learner drivers. We'll get to the point where the severed section of the road is before picking it up just shy of Mansfield, and the best part is the very last. Oh, it's a few hundred meters, but it looks very like something from an apocalyptic sci-fi film. Now if you focus on this Google map image, we can change back to the map from around about 1914, and you can see Cauldwell Road. It's still there, look. It's even more obvious now without the A617 bursting through the countryside. Quite a lot of woodland there, as there is today, but again, absolutely no trace of the 617 that opened in 2004. Now the reason I can just stand here and talk to you in the middle of the road is because since 2004 it has ceased to be a busy through road because of the A617, the Mansfield Ashfield regeneration road. It was a scheme to build basically a bypass. The first stage at Reneth, that was done in 2001, I think it was February, and I've still got actively looking for traffic just in case something does come around, because the odd vehicle actually does. So 2001, now this section linking Reneth through to where the hospital is at Kings Mill past Amazon, that opened in 2004. That's when this road was effectively taken out of regular active use. So it does still have a pavement running along it, look, and you can see it is trodden down, but you've got to accept that probably the path came right out of here and it would have had a heck of a lot more use. I've not actually passed anyone walking since I've been on here. There's been 2 learner driver cars so far, but I mentioned that earlier, it's a bit of a hot spot for that. It's a bit of a perfect area, isn't it, for that? So we're going to take a sharp right up a hill and over a brow, and then we hit about a quarter of a mile of really picturesque, beautiful tree-lined straight road. So around the hill, look, that's quite a tight bend. You can imagine how busy and how fast drivers used to thrash it around that corner down there that you've just seen me come up We're at the top, look. Notice we've still got cat's eyes in here. It's like a little face, doesn't it? Don't look like the reflectors are in them though. That one's missing. And you've got the very faded white lines as well. Pavement's still present, pretty much as it was down the bottom. So the bulk of the white lines are about to make a reappearance as well, aren't they? So you can see where they're faded, and then they turn into that double white for no overtaking. No pavement obvious on the opposite side. There never ever actually was. It's lovely and peaceful down here. It's really nice. Let's go and push on over there where we're going to drop down another hill. Road ahead closed. That's certainly the truth. You see here where cat's eyes used to be, and they've moved them for whatever reason. I wonder why they'd actually do that. They're all like that here. Look, obviously that's, you know, it's been done a long time ago, way before the road was closed. But I wonder what decision was made to think, we need to move them maybe a foot. Some drop down curves there, look, for when it would have been farm access into the fields there. Doesn't look like anything's grown in there now. Another one over there, look, it's still got the gate crossing onto the farmland, but humps of soil put there to stop anyone going on. I think there is crops being grown in there. So I'm now walking down the steepest part, and we're still getting warnings of road ahead closed. And just there, look, 200 yards away, there's a car park down there. I think it's at the fishing lake, but this is generally where, if you're learning to drive, an instructor will bring you here to do a hill start. It's a fantastic incline to come and do it. It's probably quite slippy and the wet as well. Again, I can imagine back when this road was fully active and open, traffic going up and down here just inches apart sometimes, and even some death-defying overtakes heading down towards the dip before it hit where the A617 now is. It must be quite a daunting, pressured feeling to be sat here on this hill. It is quite steep. I don't know if the camera really picks it up. And then just driving away, hopefully without stalling it. There's the fishing pond over there, Cauldwell Dam, named after Cauldwell Road. Looks like we've got a bit of tree pruning going on down here. There's the wall, look, on the other side of that I can hear water running, but it's too overgrown to really see anything. So I'm probably going to have to do voiceover down here because the council workers are stripping, and that's all you're going to hear. But this is where the road comes to an end and turns into a footpath. Now they've stopped their equipment, so we're coming up to the A617 now, so this is where the road is effectively gone. But it is just down there, that's where it was. The other side of them bushes, if I can poke my nose in I will, but I don't want to be getting in the workman's way either. It's pretty much just there, look, see it? And then it comes to an abrupt end. Just here, because you can hear it and you'll be able to see it. The traffic. So this is all filled in just here. This is the A617. Rayworth that way and Newark that way as well, and off towards Sutton in Ashfield in that direction. We've got to cross. The road used to go across like that, so I'm going to see you on the other side. Okay, a quick look at maps to see where we are, just to give you a bit of an update. So here's the bit that was severed by the A614. Our abandoned Cauldwell Road is going to head up towards the A611 Derby Road. Derby Road and Cauldwell Road both intercept the A60 between Mansfield and Nottingham, and down here you can see where the A617 crosses over the A60 and continues its journey on towards Reneth. But our abandoned section, the really interesting part, is just up here. It's really extraordinary how it looks today. And here's a little look again at the map from 1914. You can again see the A61 is completely absent, and the abandoned section of road that we're about to take a look at right now. That took me ages to get across. That is very, very busy. You can't see anything now, but I was studying that central reservation just there for ages. The money spent on this, I'm surprised a footbridge wasn't put in. So we're going to come off here now. That's the direction of Reneth and Newark, and it turns into a bit of a path. So our road would have come straight across just there, zooming all the way down here, and it is completely infilled at this point. But can you remember when I said it gets very much better, really like apocalyptic, abandoned, overgrown? You're going to see that any moment now. So once we've gone beyond these trees, still infilled there, and down we go. This is still not the original pavement, but we're about to hit the original road. Look at this. This is exactly what I've been talking about. So a completely different kettle of fish to what we've been doing on the southern part of Cauldwell Road. Look at it. It's absolutely gone. So this here, I'm going to imagine, was some kind of turning point. When the road was being constructed up there, it was a place that the staff could use, because I don't think that was here before. But look, no white lines just here either. So yeah, this is a completely different surface to what we're about to hit. Still got the curb, look. Still got the pavement. That is the original pavement just there, where many people would have walked up here, cycled up here. Traffic zooming up and down constantly all day. So busy. And the road surface changes right here. So indeed, that has been altered, probably when the road, the 617, was constructed. We've got the white lines, look, dashed on the downhill and solid white on the uphill. And cat's eye still present too. Piece of the original width of road there, look, for some unknown reason. It's just managed to stay clear for some reason. So, got the curb just there, look. And then we could step right over. And here's the other one. Not come far up at all, look. I'm just slowly taking this in because it is really eerie and weird. You can still hear the traffic from the 617. That is kind of getting further away. And we do stay on an ascent now all the way to the top. We'll be hit properties again, and there is a set of traffic lights for the main road between Hucknall and the A60. The A60 being the Nottingham to Mansfield Road. Something that actually has surprised me going along the curbs, that I've not seen any drains for rainwater, surface water to go down. Fair enough, the water would have flowed down a hill anyway, but kind of expected to see a few grates along the curbing just to collect some of it so it wasn't such a deluge going down to the bottom. So 20 years to us is probably not that long ago, but then my daughter's 21 at the time filming this, so she was only 1 when this was closed, which makes it feel all the more weird, to be honest. We're about to take a bit of a left turn bend, look, so you can imagine cars thrashing past it at a real high speed. And then just beyond this bend, the road is technically open for access. There are a few properties on the left hand side, and it's going to be very similar to the first part of Cauldwell Road that we first walked along. It's an old electrical junction box here, look. I imagine it is still active. It doesn't look that old, does it? It must have been put in for something, yet there's nothing around here that I'd imagine it would serve. So we've got bollards here, look, to stop traffic coming down, and the properties are beginning on the left. This has been extraordinary. Look at this bit. It might only take you at a brisk walk about 2 minutes to walk it, but it's worth it. It's worth like coming along and spending about 10-15 minutes just nosing around and just feeling the atmosphere. So these look like they've had a bit of bit of a wallop a few times, haven't they? Can't see why anyone would, but you can see these impact marks down there. Unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, so property's on the left and the road is very much open here, but not used like it was, just for access purposes, no other reason. Yeah, I mentioned earlier it could do with a bridge going across, a footbridge going across there, because there must be numerous cyclists and pedestrians that would probably use that safely, because I say I was in that central reservation for a very long time. So this looks very much like the first part of Cauldwell Road, doesn't it? At the very top there is the traffic lights junction I've just mentioned previously, and I'm assuming this sign here is going to say something like road ahead closed 100 yards, 150, oh 50, even closer. Yeah, that's 50 yards, isn't it, down there? I mentioned previous about grates, look, there's one just there. So we've got them near the top, that's probably to help with the properties on the right hand side. Another one there as well. And we're at the point where there's 150 yards, look. Keep seeing these weird strips of concrete in the centre of the road as well. Not sure if anyone knows what they'd have been for. Almost at the top, look. Derby Road, the A611, off towards Hucknall on the right, and to the left it would get you to the A60 between Mansfield and Nottingham. There we go, there's the crossing back onto Cauldwell Road, and this is where it is still full of life. It's used as a cut through between the A611 Derby Road and the A60 down there. Of course you could carry on along there. That's where the West Notts College is, just behind those trees. I don't think it's called that anymore, is it? But yeah, you could walk on straight down here, and this would have been the original through route, which I believe carried on to Newark Road on the opposite side of the A60. I'd like to give you an aerial shot of the junction further down, but we're having the college and students on the left. I'm not going to do that out of respect for privacy. The A617 also appears the other side of that field you can see on my right hand side, with a junction a little further down. So dead ahead the junction of the A60, straight opposite is Old Newark Road. The original formation would have gone straight across, coming off here and taking you on towards, well, Reneth. And the original formation goes straight across the A60 and heading up towards Reneth and towards Billsthorpe and so on towards Newark, with the new junction for the last 20 years being down there. So do hope you've enjoyed this look at the Cauldwell abandoned road between Mansfield and Sutton in Ashfield in Nottinghamshire. Any more suggestions, or you like this kind of thing, drop me a comment below of other roads I can go and see. Again, as you can see, this part of the road is fully active, but I've managed to get lucky and hit a quiet spot to do this outro. Also, if you like abandoned roads, I did do one in Sheffield a few months ago. I think it was in March or April time. I'll put that on at the very end so you can link straight to it. It's really, really good, that one. See you in the very next video. Bye for now. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to become a channel member, you can click the join now button at the bottom. It supports this channel going forward and the place to go. Please drop some suggestions down below of anything, old railways, roads, lovely Peak District walks, reservoirs, culverts and tunnels. You can follow me on all the social medias that have popped up below. It'd be great to see you on there. They'll give you updates on where I am, where I'm going and what videos are coming up next.